So this is Flourish Excel. It is a liquid fertilizer for the aquarium, and I have mixed feelings on it. I got it from my younger sister who purchased it for her 5-gallon aquarium. She bought it at PetSmart. And her betta fish was exhibiting strange behaviors. It was like swimming on its side. Its abdomen appeared swollen, and she was just swimming weird, and she wasn't eating, which is extremely weird for this fish because this fish loves food. So what we did was we looked at everything she had been adding to the tank, and we removed all the factors that could be contributing to the fish becoming ill, and then we just did a massive clean of the tank, and now the fish is fine. But my sister was really freaked out by that incident, so she just gave me the Flourish Excel, which is very kind of her. But I do not think that this was what was responsible for her fish becoming ill. And if it was, I think it was because she had been adding too much. I would say with Flourish Excel, always look up how much is good for your specific aquarium size. Do not add too much, and it's better to add too little than too much, because everything can be overdosed. You can, take too many vitamin D supplements. It'd be hard to do that, but you could. Everything can be overdosed, and you don't want to be adding crazy amounts of Flourish Excel to your aquarium. Even though it says that it's safe, it's still not a great idea. It is wasting unnecessary money by adding too much of this product, and it could potentially be dangerous to fish, even though it's not dangerous. But when it says it's not dangerous, it means it's not dangerous in the dose recommended by the company. So if you add way too much of this, it kills your fish, then you go on Flourish Excel's customer service line, and you are like, oh, I added Flourish Excel and it killed all my fish, I want my money back. Or you take it back to PetSmart. They're gonna ask you how much you used, and if you're like, oh, I poured half this bottle into a 10-gallon, they're not gonna give you your money back, because this is a good product, but it needs to be used properly. You can't just pour this stuff in there and expect it to do its magic. Really take care to measure out the doses that you're giving. What I'm doing is I'm using this plastic syringe. I got it at the dollar store. It's like the kind that you'd use if you're on antibiotics. And I just make sure that I get a very specific amount of Flourish Excel for my aquariums, and I've never had a problem based off of that. I've seen really great improvements in my plants. My plants look healthy. My plants are doing well, at least a lot better than they were before, and I'm very pleased with how everything looks. So I would recommend Flourish Excel, but not for children. If your child is trying to keep their tank independently and is like doing their own water changes, doing their own everything, don't just like give this to a child and expect them to use it properly without explaining it to them in detail, because again, if you use it incorrectly, you can kill your fish, and you don't want your child, or even somebody who has bad motor skills and could by accidentally pour too much in, which happens, if you're trying to pour in a very specific amount and then your hand spasms and then you pour in too much, like that could be a disaster. And that's why I would definitely recommend, using like a plastic syringe, or even just pouring it into the cap of the Flourish Excel before pouring it in, so you can make sure that you're not putting in too much, because that would be a disaster. And I do think that my sister perhaps added too much, and it was the reason that her fish became ill. But considering that this is quite like this is quite a sizable bottle, and you only need a few milliliters in. This is 250 milliliters, and I think 1 milliliter is suggested for an aquarium. So I could use this if I want to, which isn't advisable because the doses add up. So if I do a once a week water change, I'm adding 1 milliliter a week, then by the end of the week, that's going to be 7 milliliters, right? So keep that in mind. Keep in mind how your water changes is going to affect the concentration of Flourish in the water. But yeah, this is a great bang for your buck. It works. But you need to make sure to use it properly also. And like many fertilizers, because fertilizers contain nutrients for plants, and many of those nutrients are based off of decaying matter, it smells so incredibly bad. Like, even just having it that near to me right now, I feel kind of like barfing, not gonna lie. It smells incredibly bad. I keep it inside of a plastic bag, inside of a plastic container, because it smells like death. And if you spill it, you're in that entire room, you will not be able to sleep in it. And I keep my fish in my bedroom, and I've spilt it before, and it made me physically ill because it smelled so incredibly bad. And yes, I am a drama queen. I am a total drama queen. Granted, I am very sensitive to smells, but if you are sensitive to smells, I don't even know if I'd recommend that product for you based off of that, because it smells horrible. Like, it is nasty. But that probably means that there's some really great bacteria in there which are going to help the plants, because again, the product works, and it's a great product, and it's a good product for what you're getting. But keep in mind, take precautions. Don't, keep it inside of a plastic bag to make sure it doesn't spill. Make sure you're not adding too much, and make sure to keep the outside of the bottle clean. Like, I need to go clean the outside of this bottle, but even just the dried residues on the outside of the bottle are making the outside of it smell. It's just not great. Yeah, it's a great product, just smells really, really bad.